Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. You've got Secret Service protection. Hebrews 1 verse 14 says, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" One of the quickest security measures coming after the 9/11 attacks in the United States was the placement of federal air marshals on flights to prevent hijacking of flights and to protect passengers from violent passengers. The air marshal is allowed to carry a gun on the flight and to make arrests where necessary. There are not enough air marshals to cover every domestic and international flight, and so these men and women are not identifiable. You really don't know if one is on your flight. Then there is a Secret Service, which is a federal law enforcement agency that protects the top leaders in the United States and their families. The Secret Service also investigates crimes in the high levels of the society. These two groups of law enforcement officers typically operate under strict guidelines and are well prepared to defend and protect their subjects. It is a delight to see the president's vehicle in a motorcade and those burly men in dark glasses running alongside the limousine and looking around for any sign of threat or danger. By the same token, the federal air marshal will likely sit somewhere that gives him a good vantage point to see most everything that is going on. I suppose the air marshal has to try not to fall asleep on the flight. Every child of God has Secret Service protection. Every child of God has air marshals who protect and defend you. This text is a rhetorical question. It asks a question and in a way it answers itself. Are angels ministering spirits assigned to serve those who will inherit salvation? The answer? Angels are ministering spirits who serve those who will inherit salvation. Let us discuss this in some more depth. In Acts 12, we read about Peter being put in jail awaiting a public trial and possible execution by King Herod the day after his arrest. The Bible says that while Peter was kept in prison, the church was seriously praying for him. Now you have to know the situation in order to keep up with what happened that night. Peter was bound by 2 chains, sleeping between 2 soldiers, and sentries were standing guard at the entrance. That is 4 soldiers, and they operated on shifts of 4, so in total he would have had a total of 16 soldiers charged to protect him that he did not escape. Well, what do you know? The angel of the Lord came that night, slapped him awake, told him to put on his shoes and his coat, and led him out of the prison without any of the soldiers knowing. The angel led him out to the end of one street and then disappeared. Peter escaped prison because of the actions of the angel of the Lord. Or you might remember that account of Jesus being tempted of the devil while he was on a 40-day fasting. Think about it. Not even when you're engaging in things of the Lord do you get a break from Satan. The Bible says that after the last temptation, the devil departed from him for a season, and angels came and attended him. Angels were sent to take care of Jesus, having gone so long without food, but who also was harassed by the devil, although he did not give in. Then there's a big scene where the nation of God's people were being threatened by a massive coalition of enemy nations led by the king of Assyria named Sennacherib. They were strong enough to wipe out the army of Judah. Well, the night before the huge planned assault on God's people, the Bible says that the angel of the Lord went out on an assignment and put to death 185,000 in the Assyrian camp. That is some massive defeat and destruction. With that large number of casualties, the remaining members of this menacing army had to retreat. And not long afterwards, the king himself was caught and executed. Of course, you will remember that it was an angel of the Lord named Gabriel who brought the news of the upcoming birth of Jesus to a virgin girl named Mary. It was an angel who was in the Garden of Gethsemane taking care of him as he was praying so earnestly that drops of his sweat became like large drops of blood. One more reference, I promise. In the second to last book of the Bible, Jude, we read that the archangel Michael was fighting with the devil over the body of Moses. You can figure out that the devil did not win because in Deuteronomy 34 we read that God buried Moses in a valley and no one has ever been able to discover the grave. So what is going on here for you, the child of God? It is a simple answer. God has assigned angels to protect and defend his followers. I'm guessing that there are billions of angels on assignment at the command of the eternal God. In Psalm 91, verses 11 and 12, we read, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." You heard correctly. God instructs, orders, assigns, commands angels to protect the child of God from dangers. They are even empowered and authorized to take you up in their arms so that you won't have physical accidents. I cannot explain it to you any better than this. You, my friend, a battalion of Secret Service angels, are on standby to appear to take care of you. You have a heavenly air marshal who cannot be identified but in the flesh. But if you are in danger, these heavenly agents are sent out to defend and protect you. You're well protected, you're well defended, and you're not able to see them, but they are always present on assignment. When you drive on the roads, like where I live here in South Florida, or when you might be living in a community that is overrun by crimes and violence, God sends his angels to protect you. God says, "Don't worry, I will send my Secret Service or my air marshal to always protect you."